What is up, guys? It's Alex the Magician here, back for another Heroes 3 guide. And in this one, I am going to follow up my guide on how to break before 121 and what is necessary to do that. And in this video, I am going to discuss how to break before 131. Some people did comment in that video that they would like to see this guide, so I decided to go ahead and make it. So obviously this is going to be for newer players who have not yet learned how to break early, or who are just starting out and kind of need help in getting to that point where maybe they can even break successfully, right? Maybe you haven't even been able to break yet. So if that's you, then I think you will find this video useful. So, or if you want to help somebody else get into the game, maybe you already know how to do this, but you have somebody who could use this, and it could help them kind of learn quicker. You can show this video to them as well. So I hope that you guys find this useful, and let's just go ahead and get into this. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing here is I'm just going to kind of explain what is necessary and what you should do to be able to break before 131, and I'm not going to be doing like a completely realistic demonstration because I want to show just a few biomes, because every situation is going to be different and every biome is going to be different, and it's not really about doing any specific thing, whereas sometimes you may have concepts, sometimes you may not. It's about kind of figuring out what you need to do. And so for that reason, I'm going to kind of try to get the thought process across, and as far as like the actual farming and stuff, so that it doesn't take too long to actually play through this entire thing, I'm going to be demonstrating like 3 different examples. So I will be using like the movement cheat and sometimes maybe even the Archangel cheat, but the important things I am going to demonstrate realistically. So basically, with the break before 131, all that you need to do is not die. That is what it comes down to. That's kind of, the main thing. There's more to it, but in general, you just need to not die. And by the way, when you guys are practicing this, so I myself have actually never done it like this. I never practiced against the AI and tried to, set a goal for myself like, oh, I need to break before 121 before I go into, PvP games or something like that. I just jumped right into PvP games because I personally learn best, and I think we learn best when we just kind of jump in like way over our head. That's how I learned how to swim. I jumped into 4-meter deep water before I knew how to swim, and I was like, either I die or I swim. And I didn't die, so obviously I was able to learn how to swim. Same with my English. When I moved to the US, I couldn't speak English, and it was again either sink or swim. But I heard it all the time, and I was in school and stuff, and at first it was difficult, but I was able to learn really, really quickly because, I had that kind of things like, okay, I got to do this or, I'm not going to be able to communicate. So for me personally, that's how I prefer to learn. But if that's not quite your style, if you want to kind of take it easy and you want kind of like that safety of being able to know that you can break before 131 before you can actually before getting into a PvP situation, then by all means, if that's how you learn best, then go ahead and do that. Practice against the AI. I have heard people say that you should practice against the AI first. I just personally never did that. I'm also a little bit impatient, but it probably would have made me lose fewer games if I did do that. So anyway, so talking about breaking before 131, right? So like I said, what you gotta do is basically not die. Now, to expound on that a little bit, so while breaking before 121 requires specific conditions, like you need to have a favorable break, a good biome, a good hero, or some combination of those things. Breaking before 131 really doesn't require any of that. Breaking before 131 you should be able to do in like 95% of cases, no matter what. No matter what your break is, no matter what your biome is, you just need to figure out how to deal with the biome and the break that you have, right? So sometimes you may have a bad break and you just need to figure out how you're going to deal with it. If you don't have a lot of army, maybe you need to go for spells, level up a hero, try to find a hero like Alamar with Resurrect and get him Earth Magic, or, try to figure out like how to maximize the use of your army with a hero like Tazar and, good stats and whatnot. So you just need to figure that out, right? And, like on this map, Gold Dragons is not a very good break. And the third example that I'm going to show you guys is actually going to be Luna versus Gold Dragons, which is not what you want to see at all, right? But what you will need to do is you will just need to take a look at the map. So number one thing is going to be scouting, right? So especially if your biome is not very good, you will need to scout as much as possible, because especially with biomes that are not great, you can always have something good in the corner. And imagine, dying to the break or something, but then you find an Earth Tome in a corner of your biome that would have completely changed something, right? So it is even more important. Scouting is always going to be important, and I do have a video on scouting. I will leave that in the video description below. Obviously here we're revealing the entire map, so that is not really going to be the case. I'm not really going to be demonstrating scouting here, but that is very important, and that's really your priority in the early game and throughout the game. You want to scout as much as possible, and especially if the biome is not good, you want to continue to scout so that maybe you do find something, right? Now, in the case of this biome, we do have a few conces, right? So, and these are close to the road. So already we're like, all right, well, with a few conces and angels, we should be able to break these gold dragons, right? Especially if we find something else, right? But sometimes you may not have that great of a biome. So what you need to do as you're scouting, you need to basically see what the biome is giving you and figure out a strategy that will effectively deal with the break using what the biome is giving you. Like I had a game with Fortress once where I literally had nothing except for Gnoll and Lizardmen dwellings. And I actually managed to break Wyvern Monarchs without mass slow on 1-2-1 with like 300 something Gnolls and like 100 Lizard Warriors or something like that. Now, I lost most of it, but I was still able to do it. So, I didn't have any hives, I didn't have any conces, nothing like that. So I basically was like, all right, well, I have a lot of Gnoll dwellings. Well, let's just get all of them, and let's get all of them on 1-2-1 and all of the Lizardmen on 1-2-1 and try to break with that. And I was actually able to do it. So you need to figure that out, right? Now, if you do have objects, if you do have conces, if you do have hives, if you do have conces and if you do have hives and whatnot, then you just need to figure out what you will be able to start from, what you can farm effectively without dying, right? And this comes with experience. This definitely comes with experience. I think I probably will make another video where I will discuss in more detail what you can farm with every particular town. Oh, and by the way, one thing that I forgot to mention is I also recommend that you guys stick to one town. Like if you're new, if you're watching this video, you likely are new, I would recommend you pick one town that you like playing with and try to practice with that and try to figure that out. Dungeon, for example, is a good town to start with. It's versatile. It has a lot of options. You're not suffering terrain penalty like with Fortress or something like that. So that's what I started with. I would recommend Dungeon. And then once you get good with that, so then you can start trying other towns and whatnot. So I would recommend that you guys kind of like pick one town and stick to it. But You can always try to play with Necro, and you can always try to learn the skeleton and animate dead strategy. You know, that's a very standard way to play as well, but with other towns it's slightly different, right? So you need to figure out what you can start with, and for different towns it's going to be different. Different towns are varying strengths in the early game, and what you can and cannot farm will depend on, you know, that, what town you're playing and what you know, you get in the tavern. Like here, for example, we actually have 2 dungeon heroes on day 1 in the tavern, so that's really good, right? That gives us even more troglodytes. So that will give us the ability to farm even better. Now, with a town like Dungeon, you can do a size 3 hive on day 1 with your day 1 army. You can also do a size 1 cons. You can do a size 1 experimental shop or a size 1 red tower. With pickets, you would want to get harpy hags and haste likely, and then do it with that. So you can start with any of those things. With something like Tower, it's a little bit more difficult. You're usually looking for lamps. It's a lot more difficult to farm things like conces or hives in the early game. So again, it's going to depend on what town you're playing as and what you can and cannot farm with that particular town, right? So here, I'm just going to demonstrate this particular game, right? So we have conces, right? Obviously, we would check the conces. So let's assume over here that we're scouting with this here, right? So this cons is a size 2, 3, or 4, right? Definitely not something we can start with right away, right? But this cons is a size 1. So that's something that we can do even on day 1 with the day 1 army, right? So that's probably where we're going to start from. And then after that, what we can do is we can check the size of this cons with a side hero and then see if that's a size 2, then maybe we can try to do that once we level up Shakti a little bit more. You know, if not, maybe try to check this cons, maybe get the sword over here and yeah, see what we can farm and how. And of course, you know, continue to scout and continue to level up our hero, right? So real quick, I am going to demonstrate to you guys how we're going to take that cons. There's Tazar, by the way, who would be a decent candidate for a main to do the Gold Dragons fight, actually, especially with the Angels, because he will be tanking pretty well. So I might actually even consider that. All right. But for now, we're just going to go for... Here, we're going to get Shakti a little bit of experience. Okay, it's only advanced tactics, fine. But we're going to go for the cons here. So this cons guide, with this number of troglodytes, it's no problem to do this, and we shouldn't lose anything, actually, except for the 1 stacks. This guide, I do have a guide on how to do this. You can also do this with Necro. You can also do this with Fortress. I will leave the link in the video description below. Well, morale messed it up, but that's okay. We're still able to do this, only losing a few additional troglodytes than we needed to. But see, now we have the Angel and still 130 troglodytes, right? So that is really good. So with that, we can just continue. Probably go for this box here with Shakti, and we can even just do that on that 1 Angel. Just get him a little bit of additional experience, right? Air magic on Shakti, well, it doesn't really matter that much against the Gold Dragons, although we could have actually taken that. Mass haste would help against the dragons. And we also see a picket over here. So now, actually, if we get haste and with the Angel and the troglodytes, we would be able to do the picket. So let's go ahead and get this box first, 5k XP, good. I'm gonna skip logistics, well, should have taken logistics or air, actually. Still gonna hope that we get Earth Magic. So actually, that selection of leveling up was not very good for me. I should have taken Air when I had the chance. Haste, Mass Haste would have been helpful on Angels against the Dragons, but oh well. All right, and now let's go ahead and get Mage Guild level 1. All right, we got Haste, we got Slow, good. And with that, we're just gonna go for the Picket. Grab all of these 1-stacks. Actually, I should grab the sword here too. Oh, there's Earth. Alright, well, maybe it's a good thing that we didn't take the Air Magic. Easy. Alright, well, the Picket is not so big. Only basic Earth still. So, and the way to do the Picket with Dungeon would be to have something that's faster than the Wolf Raiders. If you can't get like an Angel or a Dragon, well, then you can just use a Harpy Hag. And you need Haste. You need Haste on Troglodytes or whatever other stack you have that is slower than the Wolf Raiders. So here, well, it's actually a mini Picket, which is kind of annoying. But oh well. Would have liked this to be bigger. But now if we find a size 2 cons, we should be able to do it. So, you know, realistically, let's even say we did this cons on day 2. Let's say we took the box on day 3, the Picket on day 4 or 5. After that, we would probably Poor Man Shakti, buy him back here, and try to figure out these conses. At the moment, we don't have Mass Slow. I think that we would like to have Mass Slow before doing these cons. We would really like to find a size 2 cons. This cons is a little bit too far away. I think we probably wouldn't have scouted that until a bit later, if at all. So I think we would just need to focus on maybe getting Shakti a little bit more experience and probably going for this Demons fight to check the cons and check this cons, right? So let's go ahead and use, okay, we have Damacon here. Let's check the size of this one. Okay, so this is a size 3. Our army is a little bit too small to do a size 3 right now. We would really like, I think, a size 2. So let's see if, might as well replenish our mana here. Alright, and at the moment, I think we're gonna go and fight those demons. This should be fine. Shouldn't really lose much. Our stats are already decent. We outspeed them. The Troglodytes should be one-shotting the 10 stacks. So let's see how this goes. Ooh, well, if that happens, it's not that great, but oh well. Well, that morale was a bit annoying, but I think we're fine either way. Advanced Earth. Armageddon Scroll. Well, that can also help, except it won't help against the Gold Dragons. Now, at this point, I think I would probably try to get Expert Earth before going for the cons. Let's see. Let's go ahead and check. And the main thing here, guys, is that if you are only trying to break... Okay, so this is a size 2, so that's perfect. Size 2, we can probably even do it right now, but I think to be safe, I would just get Expert Earth first. Not quite sure where else. Oh, there's some chests. I probably wouldn't have gone to grab all of these chests. I probably would have done something else for experience, like maybe this box over here, or maybe this box over here. But, you know, this is just for the sake of demonstration that I think that before, you know, because our army is not super big, I think that we would want to have mass slow before actually doing it. Or we could even use Armageddon, but we don't really have anything fire immune, so... And going for black dragons would take too long. But the main point here, guys, is that you want to kind of, you know, take your time. If you're breaking, you know, if your goal is to break before 131, you really don't need to rush. Like I said, you just need to not die. You just need to, you know, when you go into a fight, you need to have a plan. You need to know that you're going to be able to do it and how you're going to be able to do it. And if you don't feel comfortable, then wait a little while longer. Wait a little while longer until you get more army, you know. Gather some external dwellings. Try to find something else that you think is easier, that you're more confident about fighting. And again, a lot of that does come from experience. You know, some of that you kind of just have to try to see if you can and cannot do it. That's kind of how I learned. But the main thing is just don't die, you know, just don't die and just try to get stronger. Just try to snowball in whatever way you can, in whatever way the biome is actually allowing you to. So now with mass slow, this is going to be relatively easy. Almost clicked Armageddon there by mistake. This guy's speed 5. Do it like this. Okay. And at this point, this is going to be relatively easy. Since we have the Clops, we can just kind of shoot them down. And we'll just use the Troglodytes and the Angels. The Angel can kite. These guys can block off the Clops. Like so. And to be honest, this should be completely fine. If we had an anti-morale artifact, it would be even better, but in case our Angel gets hit, we can use Cure, but we will probably have to just use Slow a couple more times here. If we didn't care about our Troglodytes, we could even, you know, do this fight even faster utilizing them, but at this point, I think I would rather use up mana and just deal as much unanswered damage with the Clops as possible. Can do this and then get rid of that one stack. Okay. I want the Griffins to be within straight arrow range, like so. Slow one more time. Then we can actually hit this guy with the Trogs since we one-shot. And just continue. Rinse and repeat. Aha. So now we're going to take some hits on our Troglodytes. So we might as well utilize Stone Skin, I think. 10. I should one-shot 10 of them. Like so. Okay, so only 6 troglodytes lost. So now I don't necessarily expect you guys to be able to play that fight that well, but you know, you kind of get the gist of it, that you know, you do also need to kind of learn how to take fights. The better you are, the better you get as a player, the more difficult fights you're going to be able to do with less army. Like a less experienced player could certainly die in this fight here. Now, fire magic for Armageddon, but I don't think we're going to take it. So now that we actually have a little bit of army, now what we can do is, now that we have the 3 angels, we can go for the size 3 cons. Now size 3 will be slightly more challenging. We might lose our troglodytes there, but we're still going to be utilizing slow and potentially stone skin as well. Also, the good news about this one is that there's no upgraded stack. So see, even auto combat is able to do it, but I think we would be able to do it better. Okay. Reposition the Clops. Okay. Angels. Kite away here. You guys go down, shoots this guy. And, you know, we're just kind of utilizing a similar strategy here. Angel might as well hit. Can use Stone Skin again. Move away. Wait. Oh, we might as well shoot somebody else. I think the troglodytes can take that stack out. Okay, it doesn't go that way. Yeah, but trogs can still do it. Good. Actually thinking about using the harpies at this point, but I don't think I'm gonna. So what we're gonna do is we're probably gonna shoot, and then we're gonna hit. Slow again. Let's move the angels here. Trogs down in case these guys decide to morale. And like that. Okay, so these guys are actually going this way. So I was actually hoping they would go for the angels, but that's all right. Now, what we got to do is just brawl. All right, so these guys can finish the troglodytes. We can use Cure, we can use Magic Arrow. I think Cure is probably the right call on the angels. Hit this guy. Trogs can go ahead and do this. Wait. Shoot. Go here. Okay. All right, so we lose some troglodytes, but it's not that bad. Yeah. So 25 trogs. And, you know, we have 6 angels at this point. Now, at this point, I think that we potentially would have enough to do the break, especially with the additional troglodytes on, you know, week 2 and week 3. And we do have, you know, more conses and stuff that we can do. But I think 6 angels on a decent Shakti with expert offense, especially if we find some additional stats somewhere, especially if we find... if we have like shield and stone skin with the earth magic, probably do the library over here, by the way. Let's actually do that. So I'm actually just going to utilize this army. I'm actually not even going to farm anymore. And we'll wait until week 2 to make this a little bit more realistic, to show you guys that, and potentially we can even take the troglodyte dwellings here to just get additional troglodytes. So do the library. And let's see. Yeah, let's just grab as many dwellings as possible for meat. And then we'll just wait until We'll just wait until week 2. And we should be able to do the break. Let's go ahead and get Portal of Summoning for additional meat too. Maybe the Pillar of Eyes. All right. And at this point, yeah, so we're just gonna get the additional meat. We're just gonna buy up everything that we have. Probably not even bring the Clops, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. Just gonna do a really quick demonstration of the break. You know, in a real game, I would have probably done this differently, but this is just to show that even these 3 conses is already enough to break on a good hero and with additional meat. So just do it like that, just do it like that, and yeah, this is actually a really solid amount of meat. 200 troglodytes are also nothing to laugh at. And we got shield, good, so there we go. Yep, so essentially now we just go do the break. We just use shield and stone skin. By the way, let's see, maybe we get something decent here or here. Hideous Mask. All right, well, Hideous Mask helps. Okay. So let's see. We would probably be doing the break kind of like this. Let's go. See, and even Auto Combat does this. 15 gold dragons, and it doesn't even lose any angels. And we can probably do even better. Due to the fact that for 1 we have tactics, and for 2 we have shield and stone skin. So we're gonna wait with the angels, wait with the trogs, take retail, hit, hit, hit. Actually go for the angel. That's wasn't quite expected. Let's go ahead and do stone skin. Wait. Hit, hit, hit. Okay, good. They don't go for the angel, just in case we're still gonna cure the angel. Kills 2 like so. Good. Kill that one. And def. Okay, and that's it. So we were actually able to save more trogs, still have all of our angels, and have our beholders, right? And it looks like you may not be able to do that, you know, when you're like, oh, only 6 angels and 200 trogs, that's maybe not enough. But also don't underestimate the value of the, you know, army that you can just get from external dwellings. Like if you don't have, like I said, you know, I was able to break us fortress on just gnolls and lizardmen once, right? But yeah, like I said, in this map, I probably would have farmed more. Like I think that we probably would have found this cons and this picket and this hive, probably would have farmed that. I'm not so sure about this cons, but you know, if I were to break before 131, then maybe, yeah. And like I was saying, you know, finding things like that, this is why you want to scout. And if you're not rushing, if you're not going for a crazy tempo trying to break like 116 or something like that, well, you have the time to explore your map and maybe even farm like experimental shops over here and stuff. So, you know, again, take your time, figure out how to start farming, and don't die. All right, so now I'm gonna demonstrate one that is slightly more challenging, a map that is not necessarily as straightforward, right? So here, I don't think we're going to go all the way for the break. I'm just going to demonstrate to you guys how to start farming on this one, right? So this map does not look as amazing. You know, you don't have the 3 conses right next to the road like that. You do have objects, but they're kind of far away and they're kind of difficult, right? You have a hive guarded by sharpshooters. You don't really want to go for that. You have a hive guarded by 2049 Thunderbirds. You don't really want to go for that. And or not a hive, the dragon cave. And then you have a dragon cave guarded by 2049 ice elementals, which is more reasonable actually. And you know, you have a picket, but a picket you really need something else to go for. So here it's slightly more challenging, right? It's slightly more challenging to figure out how we will actually start farming, right? And what I would say, there's also a dungeon side town here. So what I would say is that we would need to go for the dragon caves first. And we would actually go for this dragon cave because the 2049 Thunderbirds are really nasty. That early game army really will melt away because of their Thunderbolt ability, especially if you get unlucky with that. So I would rather take the lesser of 2 evils, which this is not as favorable of a fight as I would like. But I would still go for that in the early game. So let's go ahead and do this. Obviously, we get our day 1 meat. And we go for the dragon cave there. And actually, what we would also probably do is we probably would take the dungeon side town over here and also get additional meat from there. I'll lose a little bit, whatever, I'll accept that. Because we'll be taking this dungeon side town anyway, but here it gives us a little bit of additional meat. So, you know, obviously we would be taking that with a side hero, but, you know, I'm not doing like an entire playthrough just to kind of show you guys really quickly, you know, the thought process of how this can be done. All right, so yeah, we're gonna go for these ice elementals. It's not gonna be the most amazing fight in the world, but here, maybe get some experience before doing that. Advanced offense, expert offense, cool. All right, let's go. All right, so 22 Harpies lost and 27 Troglodytes lost. I think we can do a little bit better than that. Not 100% sure, but I think we can. All right, good. They go for the Beholder. All right, now we need to move this guy forward. Okay. 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 Go ahead and do that. Okay, that's fine. Let's block like so that these guys can't hit the Trog. Okay. Okay. Alright, so we did do better. And we got Earth Magic, good. And now we would just be going for the Dragon Cave, and we will be using the Fake Breath tech. Also, something that I will leave a link in the description for. Oh, I actually messed that up. Sorry. Yeah, let me replay that fight. I messed up the positioning there just slightly. Okay. And just like that, you can take the Dragon Cave without losing anything. So after that, Now, you see, even though we are using cheats for like movement and stuff like that, we're still doing these fights on the army that we would have. I'm not using any additional army to do these fights. So this is still realistic. And that's kind of the main point, right? The main point is figuring out what you can and cannot do with your army and trying to start from what you can do and then snowball and then take more and more difficult fights as you get comfortable, as you get better. So here we would go ahead and get the Portal of Summoning. And next turn we would go ahead and get the Portal of Summoning here as well. Well, this would probably realistically be something like turn 114, maybe even 115. But again, if we're not rushing to try to break before 121, then we'll be fine. All right, and after that, 3 dragons, we would probably go for this dragon cave here. I probably should have tried to bait them forward, actually. Okay, I got one for the dragons, that's fine. Let me go ahead and do this, like so. Kill these birds. Hit these guys. All right, good. So, easy as that. We were able to... Actually here, I could even not bring the dragons since we still have a good enough number of troglodytes. The dragons kind of mess up the fake breath. We can still do it. We can still do it with the dragons. But actually, when you only have like 2 dragons or something like that, then and you still have like 120 troglodytes, I still do the dragon cave with just the troglodytes so that I can control the fake breath better. See, because like this, we might actually lose more than we would if we didn't have the dragons, paradoxically. But we're still gonna try to get this done. Okay, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. Okay. Like so. How are we even morale? Well, that makes it even easier. Okay. But now that we have 4 dragons, I mean, everything pretty much becomes really, really easy, right? So we can farm the pickets, no problem, the conses, pretty much no problem, and then grab the hives. Now fighting sharpshooters is no problem because we have tactics and we can close the gap with the dragons right away, and you know, then we can grab the hives. So basically anything that we want to do, right? Let's even assume, so let's assume that we go for the cons here, right? Let's see, and we would also want to get Mage Guild here. Okay. Well, we did get slow in our main town. I was also trying to get like Shield and Stone Skin, but right. But now let's go ahead and do this cons. Let's bait those guys forward, like so. Ooh, good thing we protected ourselves. Right, here I'll probably sack that one troglodyte. Hit, wait. Okay, no morale is good. And we can just use the dragons here. Even if we didn't morale next turn, we would have killed them. So advanced earth already. And the cons. Well, this cons, if we... Oh, we actually didn't buy a spellbook, I forgot. If this cons was... So this is a size 2, 3, or 4, right? I probably would check this cons, and if it's too big, I would wait for Expert Earth once again and do this with Mass Slow. With Mass Slow, we would be able to do any size. You might lose a dragon or 2 with a maxi, but we're just gonna go ahead and go into this anyway. All right, so it's only a size 2. This should be relatively easy. Probably do lose some troglodytes, but that's all right. I can wait with the dragon. Finish here with the trogs. Okay. This guy moves first, right? So let's do this. Let's do that. That guy hits the trogs. Makes sense. We kill him. Go like so and like so. All right, well, we actually did worse than auto combat, paradoxically, but either way, it's not the point. With mass slow, of course, that would have been done a lot better. And if I, you know, played it a little bit cleaner, I think that would have been able to do that better as well. But now with the 4 dragons and the 2 angels, right? Actually, you know, we don't even need to do anything else. Even if we just had the 2 dragon caves plus the dungeon side town, on 121, that would be 8 dragons. And 8 dragons with mass slow is already almost enough to do this break, right? But as we're, you know, playing, we can also farm this hive, this hive, this hive, and, you know, the cons that we already farmed, and be even stronger, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Let's just pretend that we did farm the hives. There's the expert earth. It doesn't even matter at this point. I will just not care about the troglodytes. We lost them because of the dragon breath, but I really don't even care right now about trying to preserve the additional troglodytes. That's a maxi hive, nice. No, I don't want to lose the dragon. Can use mass slow, can use haste, whatever. This should be easy. Don't know how auto combat would lose the dragon. Oh, this one is small. So see, 24 Wyvern, and on 121 we would have 8 dragons, right? This is more than enough to do the break. So let's just go ahead and wait. Even with these stats, even with only 5/5 stats, it would be enough. Oh, doubled mana with the wrong hero. Oops. Oh well. I don't even think that's going to be that important. Alright, and we would just go for the break with the dragons, and we could even do the library on the way there, but we're not even gonna, even with no artifacts basically for attack or defense. There really aren't any close by on the map, but you do want to get artifacts whenever you can. But here, you know, it's just a quick demonstration to show you guys that this would have been possible with the army that we could have had on week 2. And, you know, even if this isn't on 121, even if you're doing this on like 127, you know, still before 131. Again, the point here is that we figured out that we could do this dragon cave, then we got the additional dragons, and then we ended up doing that one, and then with the 4 dragons, everything else, you know, became just kind of easy. So again, you know, just knowing what you can and cannot kill, and figuring out how you can start without dying, and also not kind of overcommitting to fights that you're not sure that you can do. Yeah, Thunderbirds are a little bit annoying because they are tanky and their numbers are going to be really high, and if that lightning bolt procs, it can make life a bit difficult for us, but I think that with mass slow, we're going to be fine. Yeah, see, just like that. All right, now I do think we're going to cast slow and use Dragon Breath like so, I think. Let's see, so let's wait with the Wyvern, hit with these guys. Wyvern can also hit them. Okay, so I'll save a 1 stack for taking retaliation next turn, or just baiting an attack. Alright, so Wyvern can hit here, and then dragons can do... Oh, well, I messed that up actually. Thought I was going to use the Dragon Breath there. Like that. Yeah, this is slightly sloppy, I would say. Yeah, they're really wrecking our dragons here. But if I were just a little bit more cautious and conscious about how I did this fight, it would have gone a lot better. But again, the point here is that you would be able to break yeah, so not a very clean fight by any means, but again, this is not a guide on how to do fights. This is just, I honestly really did that just to show you guys that we would have been able to do it with the right, and I'm sure that if I tried a little bit harder, I could do that with minimal losses. Again, the point is that, you know, you can do this, you can do the break if you just figure out how to farm your biome and you get what your biome is trying to give you, and you know, just not die and just try to snowball your army as much as possible. Now, the last one I'm gonna show you guys will be a Conflux game that I actually had in a real game situation. This was from my stream that I streamed yesterday. And this was actually an interesting one. This was actually one where I didn't have very much in my biome, and I had Gold Dragon's Break. So Gold Dragon's Break, of course, you know, when you're playing Luna, right, you're trying to utilize her firewall. But with the Gold Dragon's Break, you know, you cannot burn them. So I had to kind of figure this out, because here's the thing. We don't have much in our biome. We have 1 hive here guarded by 5/9 behemoths. We have 1 cons, 1 picket, and another hive, and a couple of firebird dwellings, right? So only 2 hives, 1 picket, and 1 cons, right? It is actually not enough to do that break, and I will show you guys later. I tried getting the army from the hives and cons and picket, and it was not enough. However, what we did figure out in this game is that we were able to get decent stacks of elementals. We had water elemental dwellings, we also had fire elemental dwellings, and we were able to find a box that was actually energy elementals. So, and we were able to get somewhat decent stats. Now, in this game, in this particular game, we also found an implosion scroll and a fire elemental scroll, and we actually ended up doing the break on fire elementals. Fire elemental summons, that is. However, I'm gonna show you guys that that wasn't even 100% necessary. We could even do it without that. So I'll just show you guys essentially the army that we had. And I actually made this decision. I actually made the decision to get the elementals in both towns, because there was another Conflux town here, and I actually ended up building fort here and building some additional elementals, because I also found a couple of boxes that were money. And see, this box with the energy elementals, I was like, all right, what if I double build the energy elementals, or fire elementals, and I also double build the water elementals, right? So, and that's essentially what I'll be showing you guys here. Alright, and then just building those elementals. Now, the reason that we actually upgraded the energy elementals is because that box was energy elementals. So we decided to just have energy elementals instead of fire elementals so that we could have one stronger stack. Alright, so I believe that's all of them. Upgrade that, buy that, buy that. Buy these. And that's it. Wait, doesn't seem like there's enough water elementals. Did we forget them somewhere? Oh, we didn't build these. Okay, oops. Okay, well, we're gonna have 6 fewer water elementals. Would have had 6 more if I didn't forget to build them here, but so which would have been even easier. But yeah, essentially, I'm gonna be showing you guys that we will be able to do the break even like this. So decentish stats. We would have expert earth though. And yeah, we would go for the break like so. In the actual game, I did go for the break, I think, on 1, 2, 3. And once again, you know, I decided to send Luna over here for like the scrolls and the boxes here, hoping that I would get something good, you know, because I knew, I was like, how do I deal with the gold dragons? And I was able to find a fire elemental scroll over here and an implosion scroll over here. So I was like, all right, well, and I basically did the same thing. I just gathered as many elementals as possible, but I did utilize magic. Now, in this game, or in this particular situation, I am not even going to utilize the fire elementals, the fire summons, so that I'll just show to you guys that it's possible even without that on essentially just this army. Now, of course, you know, if you can help it, like if you would get the fire elemental scroll, there's no reason not to use it, because, you know, this way you just lose a lot more, and you do want to have some army left over for the center. But either way, you know, if you had to, you could even do it like this. Okay, morale is a bit annoying. Let's go for shield here. Wait, take retail, wait, hit. Okay, def there. I'll probably do Stone Skin. 1/1. Okay. Wait. Take retail from this guy. Do this. Def. Hit. Those morales are really annoying. I think I'm gonna use. Oh wait, I don't have Bless. Oops. Would have liked to use Bless on the energy elementals here. Haste is not really going to help. So wait. Kill. Do that. Okay. It's fine. Wait. Hit. Wait. And see, we were able to do the break with essentially just the elementals from our biome, right? So there you guys have it. That's how you can do it even when your biome is poor, even when you're dealing with a bad break. And if we waited until 1-3-1, we would have even more armies. So you see what I'm getting at? You see what the map gives you to work with, right? And here, it was an actual game. It's not even, you know, demonstration. I literally did this in a PvP game, and I ended up winning the game, actually. And, you know, so I saw all of the water elementals, you know, I saw the fire elementals, I got the energy elementals, and I was like, it's a second Conflux town. All right, let's double build elementals, and let's use that as meat and try to find summons, try to find a summon scroll. And, you know, even if we didn't find the summon scroll, we would have been able to do the break like this. And if we just farmed the creature dwellings, so see here, we got to the hives. It was 18 wyvern from the 2 hives, plus 6 cyclopes, plus 2 angels. It was actually 8 cyclopes, but we ended up losing a couple. And so let's say the situation is the same. We're using shield and stone skin. This break is not possible. And it's not even week 2, it's actually week 1 here. So there's actually an even fewer number of the gold dragons. But like this, so farming the creature banks is not the right call here. See, we're just not going to be doing enough damage here. See, we can't even kill the 1 dragon with the wyvern. See, it is just not enough. Guess we can use Cure, but it still will not be enough. We're just not dealing enough damage. So you see, trying to go for the farming creature bank strategy is not the right call here. See? We can't even do it. So the elemental dwellings, the fact that we saw that the map was giving us a lot of elementals, and if we double build them in the other Conflux town as well, which we were able to do because we got a lot of gold. We found 2 15k XP or 15k gold boxes, and we were able to do get enough elementals to be able to do the break. So yeah, I hope that you guys are getting what I'm trying to kind of convey to you. It's the fact that while you're going to be dealing with different situations, different breaks, different biomes, you just need to kind of figure out how you can deal with the break that you're facing, using what the biome gives you. Even if the biome doesn't give you a whole lot, even if the biome tells you, all right, you need to build up your town, you need to build up creatures, and you need to use your tier 1, 2, 3, or 4 units, which sometimes does happen. But if you're planning on breaking before 1-3-1, you can still do it. Even if you have to use frigging gnolls and lizardmen, you can still do it. And the point is just figure out what that is, figure out what you can use to feasibly break, and just build up to that and don't die until you get strong enough to where you're confident that you will actually be able to do it. And if it's not army, try to build up Mage Guild, try to get spells like Resurrect or Chain Lightning or something like that. Try to look for scrolls, try to look for boxes that might contain magic. You should be able to break before 131 in probably like 95% of cases, if not more, once you get to this point of understanding what to look for, understanding what fights you can and cannot do, and what is required to do what. Okay guys, well, on that note, I am going to end this video, so thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you found this video helpful, and yeah, as always, feel free to check out my Twitch stream, link in the description below, and I will see you guys soon. Peace out.